Hello everyone, Bardic Nerd here, and you can see my face. Yes, I've decided to add video to some of these, not to all of them, but to some of them, particularly story-based ones, so visual novels and RPGs, so you can see my reactions and facial expressions, because I often do the lines for some of the characters, if it's not completely fully voiced. So we are not going to have that in everything, but we're going to have it in some of the ones going forward. And today we're going to be playing a visual novel, a very short one, so I think we'll be able to get through all of it today in a like 1.5 hour or so playthrough, perhaps. It is called One Night Hot Springs. It's the first game in a trilogy called A Year of Springs, which is a wonderful, wonderful trilogy of games about queer experiences in Japan. And I've not played all of the games in the trilogy. I've played the first game through, and I've played at least part of the second game. So you're gonna get to see me see some stuff that I haven't seen before, but it's just wonderful, and it gives me so many emotions. Being a trans person myself, it really captures a lot of the queer experience, so and also a lot about friendship, which is a thing that is really important to me. But we are going to get into that now, so let's go to that. So we're gonna start off with the first game, One Night Hot Springs. All right. Who on earth could be calling me? Haru! It's been so long since I've talked to you! Sorry for calling so suddenly. You're not busy, are you? Not busy at all. How have you been, Minami? I've been wonderful, thanks! And that's why I wanted to call you. My birthday is coming up, and since it's my 20th, my parents said that they would let me go on a trip with my friends. So my plan is to go on a trip to the hot springs with my two best friends. And of course that includes you. My parents will pay for everything, so don't worry about the cost. Hot springs? But you know that I know, which is why I'm calling to talk to you first before deciding anything. Haru, you're my oldest and closest friend. It would mean so much to me if you were with me to celebrate my 20th birthday. But I also want you to enjoy yourself to the fullest. So, let me know what I can do to make you as comfortable as possible. But it's been years since I've been to a public bath, let alone a hot spring. I know, which is why it's a good chance. You'll be with me. So if anything or anyone bothers you, you can tell me. I'm not really worried about me being uncomfortable. It's more everyone else. Oof, that's a fail. That's a feel. Yep. It'll be fine. Nobody will pay any attention. They will. Haru, nobody cares as much as you think they do. I promise. Ooh. Please come for me. What should I say? If they have reserved baths... Fine, if they have reserved baths, I'll go. One thing I want to direct your attention to in this game is the little hearts up here. This game has a really interesting mechanic where basically it shows how many spoons you have in the lingo of people these days, how much cope you have left to deal with the shit the world throws at you. And it's represented by these hearts up here. And if the world like is just too tough to deal with, you know, you lose one. And when you're all out of them, it's just, you can't really deal with the rest of the world, and you have to kind of retreat into yourself, and basically the game ends. So it's kind of like it's not health in the traditional sense, but it is health because it's your emotional health, your mental health, your ability to cope with things. It's your spoons, people. It's your spoons. Which I think is a really fascinating way to represent that. So I think that's really great of this game. Anyways. Yes, it's gonna be the best birthday ever. I'll call you again when everything's been sorted out. She always hangs up so fast. Can't believe I agreed to go to the hot springs. What should I do? How do women behave when they go to hot springs together? Let's see what the search terms hot springs and with female friends get me. Oh dear, Haru, that's dangerous. That's dangerous to enter into your search, Haru. And yeah, folks, if you hadn't guessed, Haru's trans, and yeah, yeah, it's the struggle is real. The struggle is real. Oh, an article titled "When Going to the Hot Springs with Your Girlfriends." You don't have to care that much about makeup, so I should worry about it a little? Don't worry about bust size. Well, I guess I don't really have a bust to worry about. But don't forget to shave. Wait, shave? Which parts? How much? Yeah. Being a trans woman who didn't grow up with learning these things is hard, folks. I don't know. I'll just have to figure it out as I go. Yeah. That's kind of how it is. That's kind of how it is. I'll wait until Minami calls me with more details. This is enough internet for me today. Never enough internet. Guess I'll turn in for today. I'm really here. What on earth am I doing? I'm not really prepared for this. But I'm here now. I just have to power through this. You can do it, Haru. Haru! Over here! Where? Hi, Minami. Oh, wow, Haru! I love your hair! Thanks. I decided to grow it out. It looks amazing. Thanks, Minami. Hey, Minami, don't forget about me. Oh, sorry, Erika. This is Haru, my childhood friend. And Haru, this is Erika, my friend from high school. The last name's Nagata, in case you are wondering. I'm Haru Suzuki. It's nice to meet you. You can speak more casually, you know. We're the same age. We're the same age? Yep, we're close enough. Erika's 20. Yeah, I heard from Minami that you two went to the same preschool. Yes, I mean, yeah. Wow, you really need to loosen up. A dip in the hot spring will probably do you some good. Minami, you gonna check us in, or what? Right, let's go then. Welcome. Hello, I have a reservation under Tachibana. Yes, we have your reservation. Would you please fill out this registration card? Haru, Erica, could you fill out your information? Yeah, sure. Okay. Time to fill out this form. Ooh. Yeah, I know what's coming. First, my name. I probably need to write my legal name. Most places it is not actually important. It's actually some places for like it varies. Some places it's more important, some places it isn't. But yeah, it's a real struggle. And of course, it's different in Japan than it is in the US. In the US, things, at least where I live in the US, and in large portions of the US, it is getting better. Where I live in the US, it's quite good. You know, I live in Massachusetts. It's perfectly fine here for most part. In most parts of the US, it's getting a lot better. In Japan, my understanding is that it's not really very good, though. But yeah, it's a struggle with this. I'm currently in the process of changing my legal name, so fingers crossed for that. That should be taken care of within a month or so, if all goes well. And my legal gender too. Yeah. There's actually in the US, actually that's basically, there isn't such a thing as legal gender for basically anything in at least my state and for the federal government. You can put different, like in my state certainly. I can't remember exactly what regulations got passed for the federal government. I know they were changing stuff, and some stuff did get changed and some stuff didn't. But it's gotten much better in recent years. And there's very few places you actually need to have a gender specified, legally speaking. But in my state, you can put whatever gender marker you identify on your ID, and that's just whatever you specify on your ID, with no need to jump through any legal hoops or anything, is what is on your ID. And there's no real, for the state, legal gender. You know, there's a gender on your birth certificate, but that's not important for basically anything. And you never need to tell basically anyone what that is here. There are other parts of the US and other countries where you do, unfortunately. But I should fill out the rest of the form. Age 19. Address and occupation. And everything else. This is where I wish I could read, dude, what's the name of the Japanese script? This is not, there's kana, and then there's, shoot, I don't actually know Japanese. One of my best friends spent some time living and working in Japan, went to school in Japan, is actually a Japanese translator for professionally. And I'm sure she will let me know what the correct thing is. But I theoretically, I know I was just escaping my mind at this moment, as things do. You know, there's Kana and there's something else too. I'm finished. Me too. Thanks. Here is the registration card. Thank you. Just let me... Mr. Haruto Suzuki? That would be me. That would be me. Oh, until we lose one. I see. Your room is the Ginkgo room on the 2nd floor. Please enjoy your stay. Let's go to our room then. I'm gonna buy a drink first. My throat is like a desert. See you back at the room. Haru, you okay? Yep. You don't have to worry about me. Let's go to the room. Haru. Nice. It's a proper tatami room. Tatami is so much trouble to clean, but I love how it looks. I love tatami too. It has such a nice smell. I just want to lie down and sleep on it. Go ahead. Me and Suzuki here will just head to the hot springs while you're snoozing away. No, don't go without me. I want to go to the hot springs too. I'm just kidding. Though I do plan on heading to the hot springs ASAP. Too much studying hunched over at my desk lately. I need to give my stiff shoulders a break. Hot springs. We should get changed first, I guess. The yukata should be around here somewhere. Not here. Or here. Or... Found them! One for each of us. Oh, they're cute! I wonder if they're for sale. Let's get changed then. I'll change in the bathroom. What's up with... Oh. Yeah, it... kind of awkward sometimes, feeling like you have to be not in a different space, and like you don't fit in, and like it would be awkward if you change in the same place with other women who are changing. It takes a it's a feeling that it can be tough to deal with and to get over. You know, certainly it's something that many people like myself do get over. But you know, like Haru, there's always the worry, am I making other people uncomfortable? And I think that's the worry that most trans people, especially trans women, have. Like, yes, other people make us uncomfortable with various things, and this constant need to reference our birth name and the gender we were assigned at birth, and tell people those when it's none of their business. That's really exhausting, as you can see here with this. It's exhausting, but really most of us we just don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable, and we're acutely aware that oftentimes our bodies do make other people uncomfortable, and that's hard. that's really hard. Yeah. Thank goodness the yukata are unisex. I just hope that it's big enough for me. It looks like it should fit me fine. Yukata are all straight lines, so not having a waist or much of a chest is better. So it's perfect for me. I hope I can tie it well. Okay, that's not a good bow. Let me try that again. Yeah. Trying to get women's clothing to look right the first time. Difficult. Maybe this is a little better? I'm okay with this. Sorry for the wait. Oh, looking pretty good. Thanks. Yeah, if I didn't know better, I would have thought... Erica! I told you not to say. It's okay. Haru. It's better than the other possible reaction. Yeah. I mean, like... You know, for different people it varies. Sometimes, like... Usually, like, it's just best if one doesn't draw any attention to it. But, you know... We know that we are. And, like, yeah, it's gonna get brought up sometimes, and, like... Most of us want to know that we look good. That, you know, we look the way we want to look, which is usually fairly feminine. We want to know that, yeah. So being told we look that and that, you know, is, if I didn't know better, I wouldn't have known. Is that the best way to phrase it? No, not usually, but, you know, it comes from a good place, and while, yes, it can be exhausting to have even the little reminders that are done even from people that are coming from a good place, knowing that it is coming from a good place, that really helps. That really helps. That really helps. And at the end of the day, even though sometimes it will just, like, be a little bit exhausting, that's what most of us care about. Knowing that it comes from a good place and knowing that a person has good intentions, generally speaking. Let's get going. I need to check the times for the reserved baths. What? You're not heading into the women's bath with us? That would be a bit too, you know... I don't think it would be that big of a deal. And, like, yeah. A lot of cis allies, like, don't actually think that it would be a big deal. Which, you know, I appreciate that they think that it is fine and that they don't see that there's a that they don't see that we're a problem, because we shouldn't be a problem. But they don't experience what we get from other people, so they don't understand that, yeah, to some people it is a problem, and to some people it is a big deal, and of course they don't have that lived most allies don't have that lived experience. So some have other comparable experiences, of course, because most people have something that they're dealing with, but so yeah, there's mixed things here. Erica, don't, and Erica is really, I like Erica. Erica will fight for you. it's fine. I want to check out the reserved baths anyways, and yeah, they're all very different people, and anyways, you're gonna see a lot more of them in the whole trilogy, and it's really wonderful. Come on, let's go. But Haru is kind of shy and not wanting to cause trouble, which, you know, is true for a lot of trans people, because like we get told that we are trouble, and honestly, it's the easiest route for us to take. Well, I mean, the easiest route for us to take is to not transition, but then you're living a lie, and it's hella depressing, and a lot of trans people commit suicide because of that. But you know, the easiest route to take, to not make waves, to not cause trouble, to not stand up for yourself. Yeah. But hey, there's people like Erica who will stand up for us. Haru, Erica and I are going to head in then. You don't have to worry about me. I'll see you again at dinner time. That's what she said, Minami. Let's go already. Don't grab my arm. See you later, Suzuki. I'm making Minami worry. I've got to stop that. First, I should find out how to reserve the bath. Excuse me? How may I help you? How do I book the reserved baths? If you mean the family baths, please head to your left and write down your name and room on the reservation list. Thank you very much. The family baths are to your right. Yes, thank you. I came here, but is it really okay for someone like me to head into a family bath? Can you even use family baths on your own? I'd just be taking away a time slot from an actual family. Oof. Yeah. And Haru really just captures a lot of the experience that it's like to exist as a trans person, and to be like, is it okay to take up space in the world as a trans person? And to like, imagine wrestling with the fact, is it okay for me as a person to exist in the world? But yeah, us trans people, that's a lot of our experience. Is it okay for me as a person to exist in the world and to take up space in the world? That's not a thing that people should have to ask themselves, at least not on a, you know, like, yeah, you should ask, is it okay for me to take up lots and lots of resources like some mega billionaire? Not like this. Yeah. So it's hard. It's just one time slot. I guess it would be okay if I don't take too long. It would be a shame if I came to a hot spring but didn't actually go in. So yeah, this, one of the reasons I love this game, it really captures the trans experience and like shows you what it is like to be trans in the world and to just go through a normal day, just a normal fucking day, and just live and have to think about these things all the time, deal with these things all the time, and like how like well-intentioned people say things that are like reminding you of things you don't want to be reminded of, but knowing that they're well-intentioned and that, like, the words come from a good place. And yeah. So I think this is just a wonderful game to, like, show what life is like for people like me and, like, so many other people. So I highly recommend this game to absolutely everyone. And it's been so long since I've been at a proper one. Okay, I'm going to reserve a time slot. Let's see. They're all booked. Are you serious? And here I was trying so hard to encourage myself. Excuse me. Sorry, I was just leaving. Yeah. I mean, Haru is really... I mean, Haru is very much on the meek side, the don't make any waves side. But that's, you know, it's... Yeah, when you... It's come a reaction. Would you like to book the family baths? I was going to, but they're all booked. Oh no, I sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. May I suggest you enjoy our splendid women's baths instead? We have vase-shaped bathtubs which you can enjoy privately, like the family baths. If you would like, I can show you to the baths. No! Is something the matter? No, I just... Let's explain to her what it is. Truth is... And this is really the thing. If, like, yes, our instinct is to just not say anything and to just not make any waves and to just hide it and stuff. But if we don't actually let people know, if we don't actually talk to people about our issues and what the issues are and why things might be a problem, people won't know, and people won't realize that people won't know to fix things. So we really have to talk about these things so that people, because I think most people are well-intentioned and will react in a positive way. And that's been my experience. Yes, there are some people that are not great and that react negatively, but most people that I run into, they are great people and they genuinely want to help and they are okay with things. And if you take the time to explain the issue, they will understand and they will be helpful and empathetic and affirming. But it takes energy. It takes energy to be constantly explaining these things, and that's difficult. So I'm so grateful to all the allies, especially the allies in my life, who help with that and do the explaining for me sometimes. I think that if I go into the women's baths, it might make the other patrons uncomfortable. That's why I wanted to use the family baths. I see. I understand your concerns. However, as it is, you won't be able to enjoy the baths in this wonderful hot spring town. I can't allow that. What? I can't allow one of our guests to miss out on our fantastic hot springs. This just warms my heart so much. Because it is people like this staff person that are just... and sometimes really do everything to try to give us the experience that we should have just as people, that everyone else gets to have, and that is sometimes denied to us. They will... and some people will go out of their way to make life better for us, and that gives me so much hope for the world. And no, it's my own problem, so... no, you came to enjoy the hot springs, so I will ensure that you can. Would you please tell me your name and room? It's Haruto Suzuki in the Ginkgo room. That would be Mr. Haruto Suzuki then? Ms. would be fine. Please forgive me. Now, if you would please wait here for a moment. Now I'm even causing trouble for the staff. Yeah, we think we're causing trouble, and sometimes, but people want to help. And so yeah, sometimes it's okay to cause a little bit of trouble. Sometimes it's okay. I guess I should just wait. I apologize for the wait. No, that was hardly any wait at all. With your permission, we would like to upgrade your party to a room with an open-air bath. What? Would that be acceptable? I don't want to cause any fuss. So relatable. It is our way of apologizing for the fully booked family baths. We want all of our guests to enjoy our hot springs. It is also a personal wish from a staff member who loves this hot spring town. Where are my tissues? Where are my tissues? Yeah. Will you accept the upgrade? Is this really okay? Of course! Then, yes, please. Thank you very much. If you would allow me to accompany you to your room. This is the Azalea room. I don't know how to thank you. It was nothing. I hope you enjoy your stay. A nice person. She said she would tell Manami and Nagata about the change in our rooms too. I didn't think people would be that accommodating. Yeah, sometimes it's a surprise, but I find that people often are. If you let them, they often are. That's wonderful. Maybe the world is kinder than I thought it was. I mean, the world can be horrible sometimes. It can be so unkind and cruel. The world can be a bitch, a real bitch. But you know, it can be kind too. It can be kind too. Let's check out the open air bath then. This is really, really nice. View is amazing. Don't even want to think about how much it would cost normally. It's absolutely gorgeous. Is it really okay to get an upgrade like this for free? Ak, stop worrying, Haru. Staff said it was okay, so I'm going to enjoy this. I need to wash first. Oh, I love the smell of this shampoo. xanthium. It's really relaxing. And this is a charcoal soap? Cool. Now to try out the conditioner. Now to wash it all off. And head into the bath. Oh, wow. I can feel the knots in my muscles loosening. Can't even remember how long it's been since I've soaked in real hot spring water. I could never afford to go to a place like this myself. And I can't go into the regular hot springs. All I've got is my bathtub at home. I wish I could stay in here forever. That was a good soak. I should get dressed. What a wonderful bath. Thank you, staff lady. Yeah. Thank you to all the anonymous, kind people in the world who just move heaven and earth to give everyone, no matter their race, gender, orientation, disability, age, language, religion, whatever, to give them a human experience, the experience that all people deserve, of kindness and welcoming and belonging and inclusion. It's people like that that are really what being a neighbor is about. And for me, it's what being a Christian is about, showing Christ's love to just everyone. That's not how everyone wants to express it, of course, but for me, that's how I think of it. Wow, time passed pretty quickly. Manami and Nagata should be back soon. We're back! Hey, Suzuki. I heard from the staff that we were upgraded to a room with an open-air bath. Yeah, because the family baths were all booked. Wow, that's so nice of them. The staff didn't just tell you to go to the women's baths? Erica? She did, but when I explained, she was very understanding. Whoa, that's really cool of her. It is. It is. Yeah. I was surprised, but happy. Did you two enjoy the hot springs? Yep. It was really nice. Yeah, I've never been to such a proper expensive place before. You should have come with us. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh, Haru, I think you've got something in your hair. Let me get that for you. It's okay, I'll get it myself. You don't even know where it is. You can tell me. But it would be easier if I took it. There, I got it. Thanks. Is that how it is? Is what how it is? Nothing. When is dinner getting here? Excuse me? Good evening. Please allow me to set the table for you. What would you like to drink? What do you two want? How about beer for everyone? I'm underage, so I'll just have oolong tea. Right. Beer. Ugh, I don't like beer. But 2 beers and 1 oolong tea, please. Please enjoy your meal. Manami, are you okay with beer? Never actually drunk before. It'll be fine. It's your 20th, so you should try a bit at least. If you don't like it, I'll drink it for you. Erica. More importantly, this dinner. This looks amazing. Let's eat. I requested a tofu nabe so we can all share. Don't worry, Erica. It's all vegetarian. You're vegetarian, Nagata? Yeah, so it's really tough eating out. Yeah, my understanding is that in Japan, which is interesting because, like, Japan actually, for a large portion of Japan's history, like, from the, like, 800s or so, like, 800s to, like, 1800s or so, while Japan wasn't, like, it was generally seen, vegetarianism was seen as being the best in Japan. It was generally seen as being good to be vegetarian, for multiple different reasons, but like largely due to the spread of Buddhism, but it also worked with their native Shintoism concepts, and like not everyone was vegetarian, and like most people like would have eaten some meat, and like fish was a thing too. People ate a lot of fish, or a fair amount of fish, but and birds were not seen as meat, generally speaking. Birds were seen as in like the same category as fish, basically. But and like meat was eaten medicinally, and like some people did eat meat if they like worked, if they were like rural and like hunted, or if they were people that were in leather work and such, so would have been involved in butchering animals, didn't want it to go to waste and such like that. But Japan was pretty vegetarian, for like 1,000 years. Then after the Meiji Restoration, much less vegetarian. Like my understanding from talking to people who have lived in Japan is that like in Japan, vegetarianism is far less of a thing than it is in the US, and like so my understanding is that it's actually hard to get vegetarian food when you're eating out in Japan. So yeah, like Erica says, I can't even get a salad without worrying about it having animal products inside. There you go. Really? Isn't it just vegetables? Haha, you'd be surprised. There's stuff like bacon and gelatin sometimes. Yeah, Minami brought me a potato salad with gelatin and bacon before. But I know better now. Anyway, the drinks are here, so we should toast. You're the birthday girl, so go ahead. Okay then. Thank you for celebrating my birthday with me. It means a lot to me to have my two best friends here. Yeah. It is really good to have friends, and like, yeah. I have 3 friends that are incredibly important to me, and other friends that are also very important, but 3 people that are really important. Yeah. It's really good to have your friends. A toast to my friends. Cheers! Cheers! And now that we've got that over with, let's eat. This tempura mitake is so crispy. Oh man, this tofu is so soft. It tastes even better with a bit of the pink salt. That was delicious. I'm so full. Of course you are. How many bowls of rice was that? I don't know. I'm at my limit too. You two are idiots. Haru isn't an idiot. Neither is Minami. Such idiots. My body feels really heavy. She fell asleep. Suzuki, can you help me carry her to the futon? Okay. She's surprisingly heavy. Because she does sports. It's the muscle. Really? I didn't know that. Though I can imagine it. She's always so full of energy. She went out like a light today, though. I think it was the beer. Alcohol will do that sometimes. Especially if you're not used to it. If you're not used to alcohol, then yeah. Yeah, trust Minami to be a lightweight. It's a good opportunity for me, though. A good opportunity? I wanted to talk with you. But Minami was being all sensitive about it. So I figured I'd ask when Minami wasn't around. I'm not great with this sort of thing, to be honest. But I really just want to understand a bit better. And you can tell me to stop at any time if you don't want to talk, so... Yeah, I mean... It's important, like... Yeah, it's important to learn about things, and like... There are different... And like, sometimes we can like learn by like Googling stuff and researching stuff that like has been put on the web or stuff, watching YouTube videos and such. But really, like, talking to someone one-on-one, it's really one of the best ways to learn. So like, if you have friends that are okay with that, but make sure they're okay with that, because like, yeah, people, not everyone is good at educating people, and having to educate other people constantly all the time, it gets exhausting. But I think that it's an important thing to do, so I do try to be able to do it for other people if they need, but it's important to be able to set boundaries and limits. So I think what Erica is doing, saying ahead of time, you can tell me to stop at any time if you don't want to talk, that's really important. So if you're someone that is wanting to learn and wanting to ask someone individually about stuff, then yeah, try to try to make sure that you let them know that they can tell you to not at any time. Mind if we chat for a bit? Nagata is Minami's friend, so I'm sure she really does have good intentions. But I haven't really properly talked about this to anyone before. And yes, sometimes we don't, but I think that for many of us, we often don't talk about this, but it can be helpful when we do, actually. But it's hard to talk about it with a lot of people. Hard to talk to finding, as your friends, you don't want to mess things up with them. As strangers, you don't feel comfortable with them. Having someone that's kind of in the sweet spot in between, it's difficult, but so. But let's talk about it. What do you want to talk about? I'm just a bit curious since you're the first transgender person I've ever met. That might not be true. Huh? You might have met other transgender people before, but you just didn't notice. And yeah, you might have met trans people and not known it. You probably have. You probably have. Maybe. To be honest, if Minami hadn't told me, I wouldn't have known you were transgender, Suzuki. Can I just call you Haru? You can call me Erika. And for those not familiar with Japanese culture, you don't call someone by their given name, unless you're closer to them, or in like, or is there are various the various different ways in which Japanese politeness works are complicated, and I don't really fully understand it. I vaguely somewhat understand bits about Japanese culture, and I'm trying to learn more because it's a thing that interests me. If you were meeting someone, a casual acquaintance was like, not really a friend yet, you wouldn't call them by their first name, or well, not their first name, their given name, because Japanese names have the family name first and then the given name second. I don't mind. Haru, then. Is that like your transgender name? No, it's a nickname from when I was a kid. Oh, so a nickname from when you were still a guy? Oh. But yeah, that's a thing that people say when they don't know any better, because they don't know any better. And, you know, we need to educate people. So let's explain it. It's not like I was a guy before. I've always been a girl. Just my appearance doesn't completely match who I am. Sorry, I shouldn't have phrased it that way. Which, yeah, she shouldn't have. But she also didn't know better. So, yeah. What was your name again? I heard it at the check-in. Haruto, right? Ah, yeah. Also, not, yeah. Say, you probably shouldn't ask that sort of thing to transgender people. Why? Asking for a name someone isn't using now is kind of like denying who they are now, so... Oh. Sorry about that. I didn't mean it that way, so... Could you forget it? It's okay. I actually like the name Haru. It's unisex. I'd like to change my legal name to Haru if I can. Oh. I guess since you haven't changed your name, you can't use Haru on official documents and stuff. Which, yeah, I'm in the process of changing my legal name so that I can use my real name on official documents, which, or in the state of Massachusetts, it's actually referred to slightly differently, because in the state of Massachusetts, legally, the name that you use and that you go by in normal daily life, as long as it is not done with intent to deceive, that just by using it in your normal daily life, that makes it legally your name as far as Massachusetts is concerned. But not how the federal government works. And so you have to have a different name on identification stuff, but it's not actually in Massachusetts referred to as legal name, which suggests that the name that you use regularly isn't a legal name. But Massachusetts is, you know, fairly good as far as this stuff goes. You know, Massachusetts is not a perfect place by any means, in this or in anything, but, you know, it's, you know, fairly good as places go, for most things, not for everything. Yep. I guess your legal gender is still... Yep. It must be hard on you. Can't you change it? It's a bit tough. And in Japan, it is. And it used to be much harder here. Now it's really easy here. Now it's really easy here. Well, fairly easy here. I mean, in Massachusetts, it's like quite easy. But in other places, maybe a bit harder. But as you'll see, I would need to get gender affirmation surgery and be sterilized. Not all trans folk want to get surgery. And some want to get some surgery and not other surgery. And that is the gender affirmation surgery is, or gender affirming surgery, is generally what we refer to it these days. Some people still refer to it as gender reassignment surgery, but that's a little bit dated. And some people refer to it as sex reassignment or something like that. That's also dated. These days, I would use, certainly, and different people in the community use different names. And, you know, but generally all the doctors that I have and I personally use gender affirming surgery. So the sterilization part is interesting because when you're, I mean, obviously, if you have bottom surgery, then that's gonna get rid of stuff that you would need to reproduce, clearly. So there wouldn't be a separate sterilization. That's just, you know, can't not sterilize it as part of the surgery. But not every trans person wants to have bottom surgery. It took me a while to decide that I did want to. And for medical reasons, like I can only have a certain type of bottom surgery. I'm not going to get into that on here, but of course, surgery, top surgery, which if hormones don't give you breasts, you might want or you might not. Sometimes hormones will give you more breast tissue and sometimes they won't. Each person is different. For me, they didn't give me very much, so I had top surgery to give myself these nice things here. My surgeon did an excellent job, I must say. Yeah. So, being on estrogen tends to, my understanding is that being on estrogen, which of course not every trans woman goes on, just as not every trans man goes on testosterone, but being on the hormones will often make you infertile itself. So if you medically transition in most methods of medical transition, if you do even just a little bit of them, many of them will make you sterile just as a side effect. Interesting that they have the sterilization requirement separately. But of course, this is all a Japan thing. What? I mean, I guess gender affirmation surgery is cool if you want to change your body anyway, but you need to be sterilized? So, like, having that requirement when it's, like, going to happen anyways, that's just a really... Having that as a requirement, like, is basically saying that trans people are lesser. So, that's really... Yeah, it's really shitty. Yeah, though in some other countries, you can change your gender without doing either. Like, in the US, where I am. I can't remember exactly what the exact requirements are to change your gender, and it may vary from in different parts of the US. And it's, you know, changing the gender that's on your birth certificate, which matters very little in many parts of the US. Certainly matters not at all in Massachusetts. I can't actually remember if it matters for the federal government. I know that it might not matter for the federal government these days. But obviously in some states that have passed, you know, the bathroom bills, yeah. I didn't know. That's the thing. A lot of cis people don't know. They don't know about all these things. They don't understand what life is like. Like how hard it is, and like, and so education goes a long way. Education goes a really, really long way. Yeah, there are a lot of requirements. You also have to be above 20, not married currently, and have no kids who are minors. Wow, that's, yeah, that's also a Japan thing. Like, yeah. Wait, why do you have to be unmarried and not have kids? Well, for the marriage bit, because if you change gender, it would become a same-sex marriage, which, in Japan, is not legal. Here in the US, that's no issue, of course. And that's illegal in Japan. And for the children bit, apparently it would be confusing for them or something. Like, okay. Yes, things need to be explained to children. Like, I mean, things need to be explained to children in age-appropriate ways, but a thing on a piece of paper is not saying that changing your legal gender changes a thing on a piece of paper. It doesn't change anything about you. So like, yes, if you have kids and you are planning to socially or physically or medically transition and change what you look like and change the name you go by and stuff, I mean, obviously you're gonna need to explain that to kids, and yeah, it can be confusing, but from what I've seen, generally usually they figure it out. And obviously you need to explain it in an age-appropriate way, and you need to think about beforehand how you are going to do that. But anyways, what the hell? Yeah, Erica. Yeah. I like Erica. Did I say that I liked Erica? Because I do. I know, I didn't make the law. It might get better though. Some wards allow same-sex partnerships now, after all. I didn't realize it was so bad. I'm sorry for asking you so many questions, but yeah, so many people that are not minorities don't realize the way things are bad for minorities. And that's where a lot of this the stuff about why do we need to fight for various different minority rights. They have all the same rights and such. Why do we need to fight? What rights do I have that they don't? And a lot of it, I think, genuinely comes from a place of ignorance. And yes, people should educate themselves, but realistically speaking, that's not something you can realistically expect from most people. So you have to understand that most people don't actually understand the issues. Usually they're not saying these things out of malice, but out of ignorance, and they don't actually understand. And what would be great if they all educated themselves? That's not going to happen. So we need to help them. We need to be kind and understanding and meet them halfway and try to help them learn. Anyways, I hope I didn't make you uncomfortable. Thank you, Erica, for listening, because really, people listen to you. That's really... That's good. That's good. It's fine. I'm actually happy. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing with me. Okay. I think that after I made you spill out all of that, I definitely owe you one. Huh? I talked to one of the attendants earlier. Apparently, while their official stance is that you should enter the baths for your legal gender, this is a question they're actually asked quite often. And they decided that it was unofficially okay, as long as you didn't bother other guests. There aren't too many guests today, since it's a weekday. And she said that the bath would probably be empty around midnight. Is what... That is really, honestly, in my opinion, a great way to be an ally. To, like, to figure out the things that, like, we want. That we want, but that we're too scared to ask. We don't want to ask. It would take too much energy for us to ask and do that emotional labor for us. To go and ask, okay, so how can my friend who is trans, or my friend who is disabled, or whatever, have the experience that they deserve here in a way that is compatible with everything, and not causing any problems, and to advocate for us. I have some wonderful, great friends that do that. Especially, I have to say, my wonderful queer platonic partner, who really is very good at things like that. Thank you very much. And, you know, also my wife, very supportive in many ways. She's not a social person, so this is not really the sort of thing she does, but she is amazingly supportive. So many ways. I mean, my wife is also a gender, herself, themself, uses both pronouns, just as I use both she and they, and both work just as well. So I really want to call out the important people in my life for how much they mean to me, but especially the cis allies in my life, and also the abled allies, the straight allies. You're wonderful. You're wonderful. So nobody would have a problem if you went into the women's bath, because nobody would be there. I can't just go in. Calm down. It'll be fine. But what if somebody's there? The baths are big. We'll just keep away from them. But what if they look? They won't look. And even if they do, who cares? If anybody says anything, I'll beat them up. Please don't beat them up. It'll be fine. But you were drinking earlier. That was hours ago. It's out of my system now. Come on, Teru. Don't you want to enter the women's baths? You're a woman too. You have the right. Yeah. Erica. So we have the choice to don't go to the baths or go to the baths. But yeah, we're gonna go. Okay, I'll go. But if anything happens, it'll be fine. Let's go grab our towels and go. Wait, come on. Actually, I think I'll... Come on. You've made it all the way here already. I'll even check to make sure nobody else is inside. All the keys are in the lockers. Nobody's in the hot springs. Come with me? Okay. Don't worry, I'll change over here. I won't look or anything. Erica being sure to, you know, comfort and reassure, because, you know, like, I am not at all ashamed about my body. I have, I don't give a damn. But, you know, it takes a while to get over concerns. Thanks. You can head in first to wash. See you later then. And for me, like, getting that special treatment, I won't look or stuff like that. That, to me personally, not for everyone, is a calling out that I'm not normal, that my body isn't normal, and that it's something to be ashamed of or something, and that for me makes me feel worse if people treat me differently that way. So you know, I would prefer to just, you know, change completely in the open with other people, you know, in situations where communal changing among one gender is normal, and just have, you know, nobody comment on it in any way, and not acted any way different than they would with other women. That's what works best for me. But, you know, that's not for everyone, obviously, because everyone is different. Wow. It's so nice in here. The water feels smoother than the one in the room somehow. And that's because it's got a lot of minerals in it that are good for your skin. What do you think? Pretty good, right? Yeah. Thanks for bringing me. I don't see what the big deal is. I don't understand why you didn't just come into the bath with Minami and me. You don't get it. What don't I get? Yeah. Let's pretend for a moment that you're in a gym class in high school. You need to change into your gym uniform. Girls change in the changing room, boys change in the classroom. Where do you change? I'd go to the changing room with the rest of the girls. Of course you would. What if one of the boys tried to come in with you? We'd probably all call him a pervert. But I mean, you look like a girl, Haru. But I'm not. At least, not physically. Not completely. And it's, yeah. And you know, and a lot of people aren't as lucky with their appearances as me. Yeah, some trans people, like, look very much not the gender that they are. So, and like would get people, it would make people that you're changing with uncomfortable, and a lot of them would call you, would think that you are or doing something bad, unfortunately. But culture is changing. The world's getting better in this regard. But this isn't just pretend, is it? You're speaking from experience, aren't you? People like you know exactly where you belong. But people like me don't belong anywhere. It's, yeah, that's there is so tough to not fit in neatly into categories in a world that wants you to fit in very neatly into categories. And especially I, as a non-binary person who rejects the binary categories of the world that we try to fit everyone into neat binary categories. But not fitting into neat categories is difficult. It's difficult. because belonging is a very important thing. We can't just use toilets or changing rooms or hot springs like everyone else. If I went into the men's restroom like this and was seen, I'd be told I was in the wrong place. But society tells me I can't use the women's restroom either. Yeah, this was definitely a struggle for me for a long time. I remember, you know, I'm a trans feminine individual. And I remember back when I was, you know, before I started using the women's room, in a wearing a skirt with long hair and such, going into the men's room and being told I was in the wrong place. You know, this is before I had the confidence to use the women's room. Because of course, you know, as someone that falls, like, I don't really super love the concept of gendered, binary gendered bathrooms and such, but, like, as someone that is more feminine, and is gradually changing their body to have a more feminine appearance in many ways, yeah, if there are binary gender changing or bathroom facilities, I definitely belong in the women's one, even though, like, not all of my body is what you would typically expect of a woman. But at the time I was still using the men's room, and yeah, I actually, the person there didn't think I belonged to there. Yeah. So it's the not fitting into either. It's really, really difficult. Really difficult. It's the same for the hot springs. So we have to watch out for ourselves, since nobody else will. Even though we just want to live like everyone else. It must have been really tough for you in high school. My school wouldn't allow boys to wear anything but the male uniform. But I didn't act like how they thought a boy should act. I got called a lot of names because of that. Yeah, I mean, I didn't transition until much later. I realized I was non-binary and started occasionally wearing more feminine clothing, but only occasionally, when I was 17. I had been interested in feminine clothing a little bit before that, but I actually started college when I was 17. But I was homeschooled. I was homeschooled for what would have been high school and a few years before high school as well. I was in public schools through 5th grade and homeschooled after that. So, and that was partially because I was, for multiple reasons, but one of them was, yeah, the social situation at schools in my town. There was a lot of bullying. And, like, yeah, gender-related bullying wasn't necessarily as much something on the radar of my parents then when they made that decision. But it was a little bit, because I had long hair, at least some of the time. I often grew my hair long, and was, as a child, mistaken. I guess it wasn't a mistake for a woman, or a girl, back then, multiple times. So, I did get some of that bullying in like 2nd and 3rd grade. Yeah, even little kids get it too. And it's hard. Yeah. Yeah. High school students can be vicious. I was at an all-girls school, but things got pretty bad sometimes. Minami never said anything like that. Well, yeah. She's Minami. Nothing bad ever happens around her. But I was a bit of a delinquent. A bit of a delinquent? Wearing my uniform wrong. Fighting with bullies. Smoking in the toilets. You know, the usual. I don't know how usual that is. Anyway, I'm past that rebellious phase now. I mean, you still seem kind of rebellious in the good activist way, Erica, but you know, that's what I like about you. But I know kids can be pretty awful. Girls bullying isn't as obvious as cuts and bruises, but it sticks with you. Were you bullied too? It wasn't that bad. I didn't fit in. I'm kind of guessing from the blonde hair and the name that Erica is probably mixed race, which the Japanese are kind of weird in many ways. Like, my understanding is that, like, they're really interested in foreign things, but also very xenophobic and very racist at the same time. And so, you know, they like white people in many ways, but often exoticize them. The same way we in America and other Western societies exoticize Asian people. Which it's kind of interesting that, like, both cultures do it to each other. Doesn't make it a good thing. But it's interesting that it happens both ways. Minami was pretty much my only friend in high school, and we weren't even in the same class. My homeroom teacher said it was my fault for not trying to be nice, so I just stopped caring. It's awful, right? But that's just how things are in high school. The people who don't fit in will never fit in. So it's better to just stop caring and enjoy yourself. And I think that's actually not a bad attitude to have, honestly. Erica, I like Erica in many ways. With the people who don't mind that you're different. Yeah. Because honestly, like, our differences are wonderful. Our differences, I do believe, are wonderful. And yeah, we're all different in different ways. And yeah, be yourself. Yeah. Sorry for that incredibly depressing speech. No, I'm really happy that you shared that with me. I don't know why, but I feel like somebody's lifted the weight off my shoulders. I'm glad I talked to you. Have you ever told Minami any of this? No. I could never tell her. She's done so much for me. It would just make her sad if she knew. Oh wait, I'm sure of this now. You like Minami, don't you? Yeah. You know that she's... You know, right? Yeah, I know. She talks about her boyfriend a lot. He sounds like a really nice guy. I mean, I don't think there's any problem with that, okay? I dated a girl before too. Really? Yeah, back when I was in high school. I dated somebody at my part-time job. So you're bi then? Bi? You like both men and women? Maybe. To be honest, I don't really know. I don't care much for labels. Yeah, I got that sense. But it's cool. You do you. Want to check out another bath? They've got a nice hot one in Cypress Wood. Sure. Ah, that was great. Hot springs are the best at night when it's quiet. Yeah. Thank you for bringing me. Like I said, it's not a big deal. I'm gonna grab a drink. What do you want? Oh, it's okay. I'm fine. Then I'll just choose for you. Wait here for a bit. Erica's an interesting person. Nice. I guess I should wait here. Oh, good evening. It was Miss Suzuki, yes? Did you perhaps have a chance to enjoy the women's baths? Yes. But only because I knew there was nobody else inside. But I wasn't the one that checked. My friend looked in the changing rooms for me, so... Ah, yes. The baths are usually empty at this hour. It isn't uncommon for people who want to bathe alone to use the baths at this time. So I am very pleased to hear that you could enjoy the baths. I hope you have a pleasant night. She knows, doesn't she? But she didn't say anything. She pretty much said it was okay for me to go into the women's baths. I'm really happy. Hey, got you some herb tea. Thanks. Tea. It tastes good, right? When you're done drinking that, let's head back to our room. Okay. Okay. I'm tired as hell, so I'll see you in the morning. Night. Good night. I should get to sleep too. I think I'll have good dreams tonight. It's morning. Oh, look who finally decided to wake up. Huh? What time do you think it is? Time for breakfast? Breakfast was over ages ago. It's almost time to check out. What? I need to change. Calm down. Minami is dealing with that, so you still have some time. Oh. I caused trouble for Minami again. Hey. Do you have, like, the world's lowest sense of self-worth or something? Huh? You caused trouble for Minami again? Are you kidding me? She just went to go check out. What part of that is trouble. She's your best friend, right? Would you think of helping her out as trouble? Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Some of us think of like just being helped out as someone going through a lot of trouble for us. And okay, sometimes it is. But I like going to trouble for my friends. You know, maybe not all the time, doing it excessive amounts all the time. Yeah, I like going through trouble for my friends to help them out. And I think that's the case for most people. Helping out their friends, even if it's some trouble. Most people like that. And even just helping out a stranger. You know, there's a limit to how much trouble one really wants to go through. But I do think that most people do like helping other people. Of course not. Exactly. It's the same for Minami. Wow. You're really helpless, aren't you? Come on. Hurry up and get dressed. Minami's waiting in the lobby. Hi! I just finished checking us out. Thanks, Minami. It's nothing. Oh, and also, I just got a message from my boyfriend. He says he wants to treat us all to lunch. He wants me to meet you two. Oh. That's wonderful. Minami, I'd love to. Actually, I was going to take Haru on a tour around the town after this. Erica, you are a lifesaver. Sorry. Really? What? You know, since Haru didn't get to go into the women's baths, I just felt really bad for her, so I thought I'd take her out for a bit. Then I'll go too. No, go meet your boyfriend. It's your birthday weekend. I'm sure he's got something planned for you. But, Haru, will you be okay? I'll be fine. I'll be fine, Minami. Say hi to your boyfriend for us? Okay then. It makes me happy to see you two getting along. Take good care of Haru for me, Erica. I'll head out first then. See you. See you later, Minami. So, we're taking a tour around town? Nah, I just figured that you wouldn't want to meet up with Minami's boyfriend. But if I didn't say anything, you would have just agreed, right? Probably. Hopeless. Anyway, I do actually want to take a look around town. Not sure where to go, though. Oh, good morning. Miss Nagata, yes? The lady who upgraded our room. Thank you very much for yesterday. It was nothing. If you are planning to visit the town, may I suggest the hot spring in this flyer? Oh? They have lovely private baths that can be reserved by anyone. My older sister often goes there. Your older sister? Yes. She also finds it hard. She also finds it hard to go into women's baths when there are many people about. Oh, is your sister also? Yes. So I just wanted to say, I hope you have a wonderful time here at the hot springs. Forgive my intrusion. Wow, that was pretty cool. Yeah. Guess we should take the lady's advice. Want to check out the reserved baths? Yeah, that would be nice. Let's go then. Erica N2. The world can be kind too. I'm gonna put a link in the description to where you can find this game and the credits for the game. So it's a wonderful game, and I really think that everyone should play it. The whole trilogy can be purchased on Steam for only $5. So I really, really encourage you to check it out. It's a wonderful trilogy of games about queer people in Japan. It's just so wonderful. So that was One Night Hot Springs, part of the trilogy A Year of Springs. I hope you all enjoyed it. It is just a wonderful game, very, very close to my heart, as you can see, and as you could tell, quite a lot of feelings for me. So I really recommend it. But I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe. Feel free to comment. Tell me about any of your experiences. I'm going to be doing the rest of the trilogy, probably one a week. I have other Let's Plays to watch, but I'm going to hopefully be doing other queer interest stuff as well, and other story-based things, as well as the strategy games that I also like. So that's all. Until next time, take care.